Happy Devils Tuesday, a Tuesday night. This is the Woo Report, episode 394, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in beautiful New Jersey, inside the bunker. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. What a beautiful night. What a beautiful night in New Jersey as Timo Meier changes jersey numbers after signing that 8-year deal worth a lot of money, a gajillion dollars. And Damon Severson moving on. That number 28 was available. And we knew it was going to happen. Going from 96 to 28. I got to tell you, because I'm getting a little bit older. I'm in my mid-40s right now. And as you get a little bit older, your eyes start to, go. Your hearing starts to go. According to Mrs. Wu, I have selective hearing, but I don't know what she's talking about. But these guys are so fast out on the ice. I couldn't really tell at times whether it was Jack Hughes or Timo Meier, because Jack being 86 and Meier last season being 96, it confused the crap out of me. And I am very happy about this change. Matter of fact, I have an old Claude Vilgrain jersey that had the number 28 on it for the, one game he had 28. Used that number in Utica. I might have to take that nameplate and put Meier. Put that hockey tape over it, nicely over the nameplate, and then take my Sharpie and just put Meier on it. Now, that's kind of a hack job. By the way, Devils are going to be doing something about fans that bought 96, kind of a trade-in from what I understand, which I think is a good gesture. Also, there's some charitable component to it. If you were to get the new 28 Timo Meier jersey, look, if I was a hardcore Devils fan, because anybody that bought a Timo Meier 96 jersey, I would consider a hardcore New Jersey Devils fan. Yeah, I would keep the 96 and get another 28. What's another jersey? You know what I mean? Then you can be like, oh, yeah, I was, you can be that Devils fan. Oh, yeah, well, when Timo Meier came to New Jersey, remember when Sam Wu hated him? Well, I liked him first, and I have a 96 original Timo Meier jersey. I would keep it. If I were you. 96, you could just... You'll prove that you're not a bandwagon Devils fan. I know. Felix says, I did that tape job over my Claude Lemieux jersey and put Bobby Corkum for 01 finals. I love Bob Corkum. Oh, I wish he had re-signed. But he was a rental. Bob Corkum won faceoffs. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Eric Holla, if you think about it. Felix, let me know if you compare Holla and Bob Corkum. I mean, Corkum did all the little things right, which helped the Devils get far to the Stanley Cup Finals that year. And Bob Corkum was one of my favorite players in that particular time. We should do a podcast soon about your favorite Devils rental. I better put that in the bank. Because, sometimes when I run out of ideas on this podcast, there are times where, hey, I want to go to bed. Like I told you, I'm an old man right now, And I wanted to snooze, but Mrs. Wu was like, "You idiot. You hadn't done a podcast yesterday. Now you're going to slack off?" And I was like, all right. And she motivated me with some cookies. And then, you know what? And then I decided to do a podcast. Felix says, yes, I kind of agree. He could drop the gloves too. Yeah, Bob Corkum. You know what? We got to get Bob Corkum here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. By the way, in the other news, those that are listening in the car right now on the replay, although we are live right now, how about the new graphic? You guys like the new graphic? Yeah, I mean, these are the new graphics putting on the video feed right now. We're trying to kind of, make our podcast like more appealing to the naked eye. And I hope. Yeah, and little Fireboy, I did this myself. Okay, now, truth be told, we had a little bit of when Scotty came last August. We were like, all right, guys, this is maybe the third time that we would be together because, Scotty's out in L.A. Beer Baron's a parent. Shorts Guy and I are all over the place. It's very rare that we are physically in the same room, although you do hear us on the Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't heard yet, Season 7 started last Sunday. And, man, was that a good podcast. Anyway, enough of the plug. So we decided to have a photo shoot. So I told the guys, I was like, we don't really have many photos of each other. So we took some pictures. Now I got to take pictures with Nick Villano. I got to figure out how to take pictures with Nick Villano. I'm going to text him after this podcast. He's actually on vacation right now. I don't know if I should be disclosing that. Yes, that Nick Villano of pucksandpitchforks.com. But yeah, we're trying to, trying to look good. And I'm trying to lose some weight. It's tough. I know I have a little bit of a weight problem. I don't know how to lose weight other than stop eating, you big fat pig. That's why I keep on telling myself. But we're going to get in game shape because we have to. Because the Let's Go Devils podcast, we got big things happening. Also in the news as well, those season ticket holders, also known as Devils members, those that have been season ticket holders for 20 or more years, I believe, had the first dibs on the outdoor game. I saw some of the pricing, meow, meow. It wasn't that bad. I was comparing prices previously at other NHL-sanctioned events, outdoor games, and, you could get a seat for about $100. I mean, look, $100 is $100. I think anything over $10 is expensive. But, it's within reason. A lot of fans bought 8 tickets because you got to buy for yourself. You got 2 kids, grandma, grandpa, maybe your friend's friend of a friend that's a hardcore Devils fan. People were buying up tickets, and I love the fact that this is a Devils home game. It'll bring back nostalgia. And also, we have to figure out where we're going to have our tailgate. Now, I haven't run this by the guys yet, but I'm thinking near the cattle tunnel. Because, you got to find a landmark for all you fans to come to the Meadowlands. If you remember, we all had our own spots back in the day. My old spot right now is a parking garage because they just ripped it out at the Continental Airlines Arena side. But the cattle tunnel has been kind of like the talk of the Woo Report. Felix says, "Moo." Do you remember those sounds after a Devils victory going from Continental Airlines Arena or Brendan Byrne? And you get in the cattle tunnel and you're like, "Moo." And then you bang on the wall, "Let's go Devils." Well, we're going to do that again. And I think we need to be near the cattle tunnel Because I've been talking about that for a while, and I got to run it by the guys because I think that's a safe landmark. So if you want to join our tailgate, we're going to bring the fun, hashtag we are fun, that I'll have music, we'll have live podcasts, obviously. We can taunt Flyer fans that are walking by, start singing, the wheels on your house go round and round, you know, that kind of stuff when they pull in with their RVs. I don't know. Dirk says, favorite rental for me was Claude Lemieux. Always a fan, and when he came back in 99, 2000, it was gave me a reason to bring out his old sweater. Yeah, I'm not sure. Was he really a rental? When I think of rental is when you trade and, for that half season, before NHL trade deadline. I guess I'll have to do some research on what's considered a rental. But very nice, Dirks. Devils fan, NJ Devils fan says, thank Mrs. Wu for motivating Sam for us. We appreciate you, Sam. You do a great job coming up with topics of discussion. I like the idea of a favorite rental podcast. Hey, you know what? Some things, sometimes, when we do this podcast or even in life, sometimes the best things come out when you're not really wanting to do it. Always happens to me. Honestly, I was about to just go to bed, and get my 8 hours of sleep so I could do a morning woo. But, hey, I'm on a roll right now. Arnie says, best built bridge tunnel ever, around longer than Giant Stadium and Continental Airlines Arena. By the way, I hate United Airlines, unless they sponsor us. Money talks. But I hate United Airlines. Remember the time when it was Continental Airlines? It was so much better. I want that airline back. Planes were new. Service was friendly. They actually served food back in the day. When I asked for extras because I'm, got a tummy here that I have to fill, I always got what I wanted. But anyway, yeah, you know what? Let me tell you about that cattle tunnel. What you see right now, what's existing, was the renovation of that cattle tunnel. If you remember the original old cattle tunnel, that thing was made out of wood. There was no steel I-beams. There was no concrete. It was literally wood, and you can actually see the traffic underneath you going at speeds of 50, 70 miles an hour. When you're on that cattle tunnel, that actually shook. It actually shook from side to side. And, of course, being a jovial, happy New Jersey Devils fan, you want to shake that cattle tunnel, risking your lives. But, man, was that fun. Does anybody remember those moments when that cattle tunnel was made out of wood? And, and in full disclosure, thank goodness they finally renovated, because I don't know if I can even walk on it. A couple of years ago, I actually fell through a deck. I'm still recovering from the trauma of that, falling through a deck. I do not recommend that to anybody. But anyway, enough about me. So, Devils hockey, about to come back. Right now, the players are back in town. The boys are back in town. You know that song, Boys Are Back in Town? And physicals are going to happen. That's where, it's a little bit of a media day. That's where, the most overused, overrated word in the United States and around the world, that's when they're going to do a lot of content. Oh, have some more content. I hate it when they say that word. It's like so overused. It's a pet peeve of mine. And also the word lifestyle is a pet peeve of mine, that overused word, because it's completely unnecessary. It's just saying lifestyle. Just say life. That's it. You don't need the style in there. Just say life. Anyway, so the season upon us, Preseason starts next week. We're going to start gearing up a little bit for Game Day Live. I got to call up Vinny up, make sure that he is has availability to kind of just like get things started. Arnunian says, have you seen the American Dream? There are still signs in the parking deck pointing to the stadium and arena tunnels. I've been to the American Dream before. That was prior to the pandemic, I believe. Or was it during the pandemic? I don't remember. I think it was right before. I'll have to ask Mrs. Wu. I know I remember going to a candy shop. I saw Nickelodeon stuff and all that kind of stuff. I saw the ice rink. I know that women's hockey, I don't know if they're going to be playing there, but I think it's called the PWHL. Remember, I used to call it the NWHL. I think it's called the PWHL. I want to see what that's all about. Been following the draft on that. NJ Devils fan says, are you sure it was heavy traffic making the bridge sway, or was it the beverages consumed? Meow, meow. I'll tell you, like, if you go back to, like, the mid-90s, like, the spacing between the wood, like, you could literally fall through there. I mean, this is before cell phones and all that, but, yeah, it was pretty dangerous back then, in my opinion. James Bingham says, I don't get much updates here in Nova Scotia. How are the youngsters doing? Has Holtz been on the ice yet this year? James, first off, I am glad you are safe. You're okay. Like little Fireboy from Nova Scotia, you had a hurricane. You had some issues up there. Thankfully, you're okay. But to answer your question, nothing has started yet. I like to see what Alexander Holtz is going to do. Is it a make or break season? Well, I think it's going to be the make or break. What have you done in the last 3 years? Is this going anywhere? How many more chances is Alexander Holtz going to have? He's going to have a couple, but he's on a short leash right now because when you have Dawson Mercer in the same draft class, performing the way he is as a top 6 forward, there should be 2 top 6 forwards from that draft class. It should be Alexander Holtz and Dawson Mercer. Which, okay, if Dawson Mercer is on the top 6, as he should be, and Alexander Holtz finds himself on the third line with Palat and Holla, again, there's potentially 60-plus goals between the 3 of them as a sport. I mean, the bottom 6 is looking really good right now. And then you look at the fourth line. Mikey McLeod, if he wins faceoffs, he's going to do his job. Bastian, I think Bastian had an impact when he's healthy with the New Jersey Devils. You got Nosek, you've got Lazar, and most importantly, you've got team chemistry. Because one of the things about the New Jersey Devils I like is what? They all like each other for the most part. Like, you've got Holla's wife likes Lazar's wife. They're all friends. They can double date anytime. And then you've got, other, it's got some good juju going on right now with the New Jersey Devils. Steve Engel says, get a jersey with no name or number on it. Don't know what he's referring to. But Daryl C says, I'll no longer get Jack and Timo confused over the similar looking jersey numbers, but a defenseman number? Question mark. You know what? Numbers are just numbers, Daryl. And I will say this, though. I agree with you. I talked about that a little bit earlier on this podcast. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that they've gotten away from each other because it just confused the crap out of me. Especially when you do this podcast and you do Devils After Dark. I got to know who scored. I almost screwed up a couple times thinking that Timo Meier scored, but it was really Jack Hughes and vice versa. And then, when we're trying to prepare for the podcast, I'm going by what I saw, not what the stat sheet says. Anyway, James Bingham, what number is he in now? He went from 96 to 28. Thank you, Steve Engel. Had to be quick there on the keyboard, Steve Engel. Mercer is 91, obviously. And speaking of Mercer, we got to get his dad on this podcast. His dad is awesome. Dawson Mercer's dad. He's a pisser. Good guy. Good guy. We got to get him on the podcast. Also, Paul Marino as well. We've had him on. We should try to get Jim Hughes on. I don't know. We're kind of like little nobodies. Like, hi, Mr. Hughes. You want to come on our podcast? Anyway. All right. Well, looking on the Facebook Live as well. Just wanted to say hello to everybody there. I hate technology. Stacy White says, "Hey Sam, hello Stacy White. Good to see you. Happy Devil's Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have a lot of happy Devil's Victory days on Devil's After Dark coming back. Scotty has re-signed a 1-year deal to do Devil's After Dark with the Let's Go Devils podcast. Vinny Parisi, he's holding out. Can't get a hold of him. Just kidding around. Vinny's back. I'm sure he's back. Nick Villano, he's always been back. State of the Fan Address, presented by pucksandpitchforks.com. And, yeah. Also, A Night with Nico, I think it's at Calandra's, sometime in October, if I'm not mistaken. I'm seeing so many ads that pop up, and it's like, whoa. It's like all Devils all the time. It's just like crazy. Also, just to let you know, October 12th, we will be at American Whiskey out on the big stage. Come join us. American Whiskey, where we do pregame, postgame, Game Day Live, and Devils After Dark. Good friends of the podcast. Also, October 24th, we'll be in Bergen County. I don't have the exact details, but we will be out in Bergen County for a viewing party at some brewery in Bergen County, and I'll get you some of the details later. So just putting that in your ear, this podcast is traveling to a city near you. We've talked about the trip to Arizona at the Mullet and Vegas traveling. I'm also looking at possibly going down to Tampa. Now, there's 2 dates in Tampa in that January, and one of the dates happens to fall on, I believe, the national championship game for college football. Well, I got to tell you, I think my Penn State Nittany Lions are going to get there, but I'm not sure. I don't know. All righty. Well, thank you all those for tuning in. Dave Singer wants us to come to D.C. We'll have to think about that, Dave. Again, got to talk to Mrs. Wu. I guess I got to do more chores around the house or something to make that happen. Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. I think that's it. Steve Engel says, come to Monmouth County. Let's see here. Dave Singer says, Sam, the Asian Heritage Night will be there against Vancouver. Come to American Whiskey. You know what? I'll do a promotion on Asian American Night or Asian Night, whatever you want to call it. I'll have Rangers Suck fortune cookies at American Whiskey. That's an idea. Put that in the bank. Remember that, because I'll forget after this podcast. Rangers Suck fortune cookies on that day at American Whiskey. Okay? Dave Singer says, bringing my Asian wife. Oh, great. Well, I'll bring my Caucasian wife as well. We will definitely meet up, Dave Singer. By the way, Dave Singer had the line of the day about a few days ago out on X, also known as, formerly known as Twitter. But yeah, And Steve Engel says, hilarious. Imagine opening up a fortune cookie and it says Rangers suck, all great, all-time great. Oh, no. I've had Rangers suck fortune cookies before in the past. Believe me, it's funny. Anyway, I better start manufacturing that before somebody else does. January 5th, I'm a military veteran of the game too, FYI. Well, Dave Singer, first and foremost, thank you so much for your service and to you and your family, because people don't realize it's also the family as well. It'd be honored to meet you. I'm sure Vinny Parisi will be there because it's against Chicago. So, yeah, we definitely got to hook up. Also, I'll tell American Whiskey loves veterans, loves people in general, but loves their veterans. But, yeah, we will honor you as well, Dave Singer. Thank you. And Mrs. Wu, the executive producer of this podcast, please note that, because I'm going to forget all these great ideas that I'm having right now. On a podcast, it shouldn't have happened because I wanted to go to bed. All right. Yes, let's hang out the 5th and 6th. All that good stuff. Great games. Alrighty. Anyway. All right. Well, I think I've talked it up pretty much. Anything in my head? Michael Hayes says, love you guys. Keep it going. Dirk said, how did you get to be selected for that military honoree of the game? You have to serve, I'm assuming. I think that's a prerequisite. And you got to be a kick-ass Devils fan, too, possibly, I guess. All right. What else? Sure, I should try to make it to military night, even though I'm Canadian Navy, not American. Look, James, our two nations, we have a Birth of Nations week. We've got Canada Day on July 1st, which also coincides with Free Agent Frenzy. Don't know how that happened. And July 4th. I love our Canadian friends. I even love our Norwegian friends, because we do have Andreas from Norway that's in the Norwegian army and Norwegian military that's a big fan of his Let's Go Devils podcast. So we love all military. We love, yeah. I'll leave it at that. So we'll honor you, James. Also, I'm also working with this guy named Lasco, working on a Jack Hughes song. Working with Matt about that as well. So keep it here, because, we got to get some chants going. We got to start practicing for the outdoor game, because if we get these chants going, it'll annoy the hell out of the Flyer fans. And nothing better to annoy the heck of the Flyer fans. All right, we're going on 30 minutes. I told you we'll get out of here. Going to hit the music. All right, let's see here. Going to drop the podcast in about 20 minutes. If I get up this tomorrow morning and actually do a morning woo, that will be an extra bonus. Also, State of the Fan address presented by pucksandpitchforks.com, Dave Singer's favorite podcast on the Let's Go Devils network. We'll be on 8:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Nick Villano and I, pucksandpitchforks.com. We'll talk a little Devils hockey as well. Thank you for making my night. Now I can go to bed. All right, we got some great ideas going. And thank you to all. This is the Woo Report. Till next time, let's go Devils.